What's poppin', people? It is your boy Zaycer coming to you guys with another video here today, and boys, Brimstone is here. It's been lit, it's been amazing. The new region is dope, but more importantly, in my opinion at least, everything that they added with Brimstone has been more impressive. It's something that I've been feeling like they needed to add ever since I played the closed beta over a year ago. I felt like they needed to expand this game horizontally. They needed to add more like ability usage and add more like complexity to the game, and I feel like they're finally doing that, and they're taking good steps in the right direction in my opinion, which I think is fucking dope, and I think it's amazing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as much as I have. My gear has changed significantly, not just because of the Brimstone stuff, but just in general, man. You know, our gear has, gotten better from the last build video, so I'm going to share that with you guys today. I'm going to tell you guys what I have, what I don't have, what I'm looking for, etc. What I would recommend for you guys to get, and all that good stuff. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But anyway, let's get on into the build. So for starters, go over our attributes. We are running 310 strength and 200 flat con. Now the reason it doesn't look like that currently for any new players is because I usually have a food buff on, a carrot cake. Carrot cake offers you 16 strength, or 16 constitution, which would obviously put me at a flat 200 con. And then it would offer me 24 strength, which would put me at 310 strength. Now, if you want to do 210 con, you could do that as well, 300 flat strength. That's perfectly fine. As long as you're hitting those nodes of 300 strength and 200 con, that's all that matters. You want to do that because 300 strength offers you grit at 300 strength. I don't know why I just said 300 strength. Whatever, you get what I'm saying. 300 strength offers you grit, and 200 con offers you extra resistances, okay? Both of those are huge. Both of those are mandatory. If you just hit 600 con or 600 gear score on all your gear, just make sure you hit those and you'll be fine. And as you progress your gear and get more attribute points, if you want to go more strength, you can. If you want to go more con, you can. It's completely entirely up to you. Getting into our weapons, our great axe, we have charge, maelstrom, and gravity well. If you want to copy this, feel free to do so. We are running Mauler's Fury currently. I do like bloodlust. If you want to run bloodlust, you're going to get rid of crowded protection, you're going to get rid of unyielding, you're going to get rid of gravity, you're going to fill out the charge tree, you're going to grab these two perks here, and you're going to grab bloodlust. Personally, I don't think that's really a good idea anymore. As much as I love bloodlust as an ultimate, I think it's or not an ultimate, but as a final perk, I guess. I think it's better than Mauler's Fury in my opinion, but with Mauler's Fury, the right side perks are just so much better than the left side perks. So grabbing as many of those as possible is better, and then Mauler's Fury obviously is not bad either. So just Mauler's Fury right now overall is better. So it is what it is. And then going over our Warhammer, we are running Wrecking Ball, Shockwave, and Path of Destiny. Feel free to copy my page as you wish. Now I will say most bruisers run Aftershock over Contemption. But I like to use Contemption because I use my hammer a lot, and I use it to finish off kills. I use it that's kind of like an execute. I throw a lot of heavy attacks and whatnot. And Contemption, like I said, in my mind, it's kind of like an execute, right? If somebody's low and I hit them with a heavy attack, their health is getting chunked, and I can probably get that kill. And ultimately in a war, that's what you need. You need to get kills, get people in those respawn timers. That's what matters. And Contemption helps me get those kills. So that's what I like to use, but most people run Aftershock. I feel like I would recommend Aftershock over Contemption. I do run Aftershock a lot as well, but I like Contemption as well. So that's just what it is. Okay, now getting into the gear. Now let's, before we get into anything, all the gems on my armor are punishing. Every single gem. All right, they're the new punishing gems. Okay, and what they do is per piece, it offers 1% damage increase per piece. Okay, so I'll show you guys the first piece, which we're gonna go over. You guys can see right there. Okay, it's a punishing slash ward. So I have a moonstone in there, so it offers me 4% slash protection, or 4% slash damage absorption, and it also grants me 1% melee damage. Okay, so that 1% melee damage is gonna be on all 5 of our pieces, which means obviously we're gaining 5% more damage. Make sense? Cool. So also on our helmet, we have Shrinking Fortification, Critical Retribution, and Resilient. If you're new to PvP, you need Resil. If you can only afford one perk gear for whatever reason, Resil is the first perk you need to have. It is mandatory. Don't sit here and tell me that you don't think you need it or you feel like another perk is more useful. No, you need Resil if you are brand new to PvP. You need to have Resilient. It's literally just that simple. It needs to be the first perk you buy. For me, the second perk is going to be Shrinking Fortification. I love Shrinking Fortification. If you don't want to, I mean, it's an MMO, man. You can build your character however you want. But for me, I feel like Shrinking Fort is well, not mandatory, but it's very, 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 very solid and very, very, very good. Most top bruisers use it. Very straightforward. So if you don't know what shirking forward is dodging through an enemy attack, grants fortify, increasing damage absorption by essentially 4% for 6 seconds, and each piece of this armor perk increases, or each piece with this perk increases the potency of the effect. So basically that means the more pieces of this you have, the more tanky you are when you iframe. Very straightforward, very simple, very solid, makes you very tanky, very hard to kill. Very good. Critical Retribution. It's a PvP only perk. On crit taken, gain 9.7% increased crit chance for 7 seconds. It has a 20-second cooldown. Ideally, this will be up every time I'm throwing a grab and trying to create a clump. Obviously, it's going to be an inconsistent kind of thing, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, it does help you get, you know, like when it's up in your clumps, man, you'll be able to blow up those clumps. It's really good, really useful. You know, there's not much negativity to it. I personally like it. You know, a lot of bruisers use it, but you don't have to use it. This is definitely not a mandatory perk. Moving down to our chest piece, we have Freedom, Refreshing Ward, and Resil. I already went over Resil. Freedom just essentially helps us get out of stuns, slows, roots, stuff like that faster. Refreshing Ward, it reduces active cooldowns by essentially 2% after being hit 4 times, and it does not go off of dots, you know, persistent damage, etc. But Refreshing Ward only works for the weapon that you actively have out at the time. So if I have my Great Axe out, like let's say I throw a Gravity Well and I have my Great Axe out, my Gravity Well cooldown will go down as I'm being hit, if that makes sense. But my Warhammer will not be affected, right? And then if I have my Warhammer out, same thing vice versa, right? The Warhammer CDs will go down, but the Great Axe won't. You see what I'm saying? So it's really good, and it can go down extremely fast, man. Especially in like a fight as a bruiser in a war, you're constantly being hit. So this is you're getting chunked, right? And this is happening constant. So your CDs will get just reduced significantly faster by running Refreshing Ward. But again, you just need to understand that it only affects the weapon that you have out at the time and not the weapon that is on your back bar. So you just need to keep that in mind. Okay. Going to our gloves, and I'm gonna say gloves and pants because they're both the exact same. We have Shirky Fort Resil, 2 perks. Now I will be looking to extend this to Freedom, so I want Shirky Fort Resil Freedom on both of these pieces, and that'll just go hand in hand with my chest piece. Not having 3, so in order for Freedom to be useful, you kind of need 3. If you only have 1 piece, it's not really that noticeable. 2 pieces is really not that noticeable, but 3 is when you really start to notice it a lot. And with this patch, there's a lot more roots, and the roots are long. There's a lot of stuns, everything like that. So just having Freedom just kind of helps your survivability a lot, which is why I'm looking to get at least 3 Freedom. But also having 5 Refreshing Ward would be dope, and it would be lit as well. And I've also thought about that as well. But if I were to do that, then this chest piece would be literally useless because 1 Freedom is not good. And this would just essentially become a 2 perk chest piece, which I'm not really interested in having either. So I will most likely look for Freedom on these 2 pieces. And then moving on to our boots, we have Refreshing Ward, Shirking Fort, and Insatiable Gravity Well. Insatiable Gravity Well is a mandatory perk. If you are a bruiser, you need to have Insatiable Gravity Well. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. It's just a mandatory perk as a bruiser. It helps your grabs. It's just Mando. You need it. There's really nothing else to talk about with it when it comes to that. Okay. Now getting down to our Champion's Amulet, or to our amulet, we are running the Champion's Amulet. You can get this from the PvP track. Okay, just do PvP, open up your PvP track items, and hopefully you get lucky and get the Champion's Amulet. It offers a stamina recovery, health, and shirking and power. Health is mandatory. Stamina recovery is borderline mandatory. It's really good, and it's so good because as a bruiser, your stamina bar is kind of like your health bar. If you're out of stamina, you're probably dead. So just the ability to be able to kind of just get your stamina back up really quickly is really good, man. So stamina recovery is definitely huge. And then shirking power, obviously you get to deal more damage as you shirk, so as you iframe, you're dealing more damage, right? And if you partner that up with our armor as your iframe, you're getting tankier and you're dealing more damage, which is obviously amazing. Now I do also have this amulet here, which offers a slash protection and divine and health. So it kind of like I'll mix and match depending on the day and depending on how I'm feeling that day. If I feel like I'm dying too much, I'll throw on this amulet. But for the most part right now, I'm just sticking with Champion's Amulet. I just feel like right now I've just been having the most fun with it, and it's been a good time so far. Moving down to our ring, we have an Invigorated Punishment and Slash Damage Ring 2 perk. This ring is definitely fun to use. It helps us get, you know, more damage in those clumps, get those kills in those clumps. Really good for that kind of stuff. I haven't been using this ring for that long, but it's been fun so far while I've been using it. If you don't want to use a ring like this, you don't have to. You could get Champion's Ring also from the PvP track as well. Very good, very solid option as well. You cannot go wrong with this. And then if you don't want to get Champion's Ring, or if you're having a hard time getting Champion's Ring, you can go into Brimstone and you can farm this ring, which is, I think it's called the Heart of Mobgal. I believe is how you pronounce it, Mobgal, something like that. If you go into Heliopolis in Brimstone Sands, at the top there are these two cats, like panthers kind of. They're just kind of chilling. They're just vibing up there. And you can farm them. And if you farm them, you get lucky, you can get this ring. And it's going to offer you slash damage, hardy, keen awareness. Now the thing is, a lot of people say that hardy's not good for bruisers. I disagree. The amount of time this is where I have hardy and then I'll dodge and I'll just have like 3 stamina left is insane. And if you have 3 stamina, man, you're still in the fight. You're good. If you're Greybard, like I said, you're probably dead. So I feel like hardy is huge. Personally, I would love to have hardy on this 2 perk ring. If I can get it, that'd be dope. If I even get keen awareness, I mean, I'll take it. I won't complain about it at all. But I definitely think I would prefer hardy over keen awareness on this ring. But like I said, I'll take either of them happily. I wouldn't complain about either. Going down to our earring, we do have refreshing ward, refreshing toast, and regenerating. You can get this exact type of earring from a dungeon. I believe it's from Depths, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. This earring specifically is not. I actually bought this one like a dumbass. But that earring, I believe you can farm from Depths. That's the exact same earring. It's really good, really solid. You really can't go wrong with that. Okay, so with all of that being said, all of his gear, we currently have 4 Brazil, which is good. Some people feel like you need 5 Brazil, but I feel like 4 is really good. It's very comfortable. We have 4 Shirking Fort, which is solid, and then we have 3 Refreshing Ward, which is good. And then eventually, once we get our gear completely best out, we'll have 3 Freedom. So we'll have 3 Freedom, 3 Refreshing Ward, 4 Shirking Fort, 4 Brazil, and then obviously that 1 crit ret. So that'll be what our gear is once we're fully up. But as of right now, we only have that 1 Freedom, which is not even really worth mentioning, to be honest. Going over to our weapons, we currently have Nature Attunement, Refreshing Move, and Enchanted, and we are running the Elemental based gem, okay, with an opal in it. So instead of gaining 15% damage when your stamina is not full like a normal opal, now we're gaining 12% damage while your stamina is not full. But hits also inflict poison, dealing 8% nature damage per second for 2 seconds. So it's just like a little dot. It's really good, really solid. I've been having fun with these new gems, man. They're dope. They kind of changed the game up a little bit, and I think it's awesome. So we also have an attunement perk. So attacks deal an additional 18% weapon damage as nature. It does not trigger off of persistent damage or dot effects, and it also has a 1-second cooldown. The problem with the attunement is that it only hits 1 person, which kind of sucks. I would prefer to have chain over attunement, but attunement is still good. It's still respectable. And then refreshing move, mandatory perk, and then enchanted. I would rather have enchanted be thwarting strikes. So the BIS, I don't want to say BIS, the best 2 perk axe that you can have is thwarting strikes and refreshing move. Now, when I first got my thwarting strikes refreshing move axe, I got it gifted to me actually by a viewer, Heavy. I appreciate you. Thank you, man, for watching the videos. Thank you for the support, man. You're dope. Appreciate you, Heavy. Thank you for the love, man. I can't mention you enough, man. You're dope. So when Heavy gifted me that axe, again, it was a thwarting strikes refreshing move axe, just a 2 perk. It was going for 100k at the time. Right now on my server currently, it is going for 5k because of the scarabs. People are crafting those, trying to get BIS, and they're going out there for cheap. So you can definitely get a thwarting strikes refreshing move axe for very cheap. So there's no reason really why you shouldn't have one unless there's none on your market. Now if you don't have a thwarting strikes refreshing move or whatever, then you want to look for vicious refreshing move. You can look for enchanted refreshing move. Both of those are really good options. Now when you're talking about getting into BIS pieces, again, the same exact thing applies. You can get thwarting strikes refreshing move plus a chain, like an elemental chain. So it'd be like nature or fucking lightning or whatever, doesn't matter. That would be BIS. That would be like the ideal axe that I'm looking for, at least. If you can't get that, then you can look for an attunement, thwarting strikes refreshing move attunement, You know, whatever it may be, a shirking, right? Shirking elemental, that's perfectly fine. Now, if you can't find a thwarting strikes one, then a vicious one will do really good as well. That's still considered bis. If you can't find that, then enchanted, like what I have right now, is fine as well. Those are all really good options, man. But obviously, the number one would be thwarting strikes, and then refreshing move, and then like a chain element, and then, you know, so on and so forth. So hopefully that all makes sense to you boys. Now, moving on to our hammer. We have Sundering Shockwave and Thwarting Strikes. Sundering Shockwave is another mandatory perk that you need as a bruiser, just like Insatiable Gravity Well that we talked about earlier. You need Sundering Shockwave, it's mandatory. Having it on your hammer is much better than having it on your gear. Having it on your hammer, you gain 14% run, as opposed to it being on your gear where you only get, I believe it's like 9 point something percent. I'm not exactly sure, but it's stronger on your weapon, so just try to get on your weapon. Thwarting Strikes is just, I mean, it's simple and very straightforward. I mean, you know, can't go wrong with Thwarting Strikes as a bruiser, man, like ever. If you can't get it, Thwarting Strikes, man, I mean, Vicious is kind of ass on hammer. It doesn't really matter. You can get Thwarting Counter if you want. You can, you know, like there's options out there, but this is what I use. Okay, now getting the third perk for hammer would be a little bit more hard. It used to be keenly empowered as bis, but it's not keenly empowered anymore because keenly empowered doesn't stay anymore when you swap weapons. It actually got nerfed. So keenly empowered before was bis for hammers, but it's not anymore. And I don't know what the fuck I would use anymore, to be honest, for hammer. I would probably look for like a shirking element, or maybe like a chain or something. I don't know. Probably shirking though. Like a shirking element, I think, for my hammer would be a good third perk. I'm not exactly sure. But we'll worry about that later. But as of right now, like I said, I am just running the 2-perker, hammer, Thwarting Strikes, and Sundering Shockwave. Moving into our rune, we are currently running the Cunning Heart Rune of Detonate. Essentially what this is we gain 50% in power while our Detonate is active, right? So like before it blows up, we gain 50% in power. Now, the way I saw it was, if I can make my Gravity Well hit for 50% stronger, I can make my Maelstrom hit for 50% stronger, and I still get that Detonate at the end of it, I'll be able to blow up clumps, man, right? I will be able to blow up these clumps. Now, some people feel like the Detonate where it just deals more damage is better. I don't necessarily disagree. I think it might have more, you know, blow up potential, right? To be able to like kill clumps easier. But the way I see it is it's much easier to iframe one Detonate than it is to iframe a 15% empowered Gravwell, 50% empowered Maelstrom, and a still respectable Detonate, right? Like the Detonate from it's 20% weaker, but it's still respectable. It's still good. Like it still hurts. You don't want to get hit by it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I viewed it. Now I will have every single Detonate. I will have every single vines, everything like that, stone form, everything. But as of right now, this is what I'm currently running. This may change in the future, I'm not sure, but as of right now, this is what I've been using, and I've been having a blast with it in OPRs, arenas, etc. I've been getting big wipes, big kills. It's been lit, it's been fun. So that's currently what I am running, boys. Hopefully you guys found this educational. Hopefully you guys found this useful. Oh, actually, before we end that, I do want to go over my resistances. I completely forgot. We are currently running 15% or 15.5% slash damage resistance, and then 6.5% to the rest of physical, so strike and thrust. And then for elemental damage resist, we currently have everything on 4% except for fire, which is 10%. Reason being is because in wars, you're going to mainly be fighting against bruisers, and you're going to be getting blown up against or blown up by blunderbusses. So that was like the main two things that we were focused on. But slash protection is huge right now, and that is why I primarily focused on slash protection. Now, obviously, with all these runes, they do reduce the amount that the gems affect you. So I'll just give you an example. This chest piece has an onyx in it, okay, and you can see that it only gives me a 2% physical damage absorption, but if I come to this onyx ring here, it gives me a 2.5. So you guys can see that these gems actually make you squishier, but they make you deal more damage, right? So it makes more of a glass cannon. So my resistances have gone down. They've kind of tanked a little bit. It is what it is. Now I can see the meta kind of shifting back towards like a 10-10 split type meta because of all the elemental gems like we have on our weapons right now. That can happen. Will it? I'm not sure, but as of right now, this is what I'm currently running. Again, this is subject to change, who knows, but as of right now, this is what I'm running. Hopefully you guys found this useful. Hopefully you guys found this educational. Hopefully it was, you know, you guys learned something today. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything that I missed, please let me know down in the comment section below. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I try my best to respond to all comments, man. So thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been your boy Zaycer. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend about me, about your boy Zaycer. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, I appreciate you guys all so much for the love and support. We are literally, as of me making this video, we are 6 subs away from 900 subs, man. You guys are so dope. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys all so much for watching and all the love and support, man. I hope you guys are enjoying Brimstone as much as I have. You know, and it's lit, man. It's been lit. It's been fun. And I love you guys again. I can't mention it enough. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And this has been your boy Zaycer. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.